Alright, what's up guys? So I was just editing a video and I saw some skin tones that weren't quite accurate. I'm going to show you some methods that I use to make sure skin tones are very accurate because sometimes you can't trust your eyes. I'm going to jump into Final Cut Pro right now and show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, so we're in Final Cut Pro right now. This is a project I'm working on for a client. Still in the early stages. I'm still piecing it all together. But these are the clips. It's like a fitness event. So I'll show you some of the clips. So we're starting out with a drone shot. My computer might be a little bit slow. I haven't rendered any of this. But it's going to start outside. Now skin tones look good here. But once we go inside, as you can see, it's a little bit too green, which you might not be able to really tell. You might just leave it how it is. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through these clips inside and we're going to just select the clip. So I'll show you my process too. So what I've got is all the clips down here. This is a very basic timeline. It's still in the beginning stages. But I've got 2 adjustment layers, which I do all my color grading on. So I don't do them on the individual clips, I do them on the adjustment layers. So the first adjustment layer is just the conversion LUT. But I'm using this tungsten LUT here. So that's before color grading. And then this is with the LUT applied, the conversion LUT, that is. And then some extra adjustments on top. Now it's a little bit dark, so we got to do some adjustments to this. So what I'm going to do is go to the individual clip itself, because we want to do any skin tone adjustments before anything else. Effects, it'll work from the top down, so everything will be layered. So this is the first effect that gets applied, and then this effect, then this effect. So the order definitely plays a part in your color grading. But here with the adjustment layers, it works from the bottom up. So what I mean by that is, it starts with the clip, and then this gets added, and then this gets added on top. So I'm sure that makes sense, hopefully. So we're going to start at the very beginning. We're going to go to the clip itself, which has no effects on it, and we're going to add... There's multiple ways you can do this. You can add color wheels, color curves, whatever you prefer. So I'm just going to go to color curves, and what I'm going to do is just look at the clip. So that looks a bit too green for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the green. And depending on if the shadows or the highlights look like they have a lot of green in them, you can affect them differently. So the highlights here, shadows here. We're just going to drag this a little bit down because the opposite of green is pink. So if we drag it up, we add green. If we drag it down, we add pink. So we're going to drag it down, but you have to do it very slightly, of course. Now I'll show you the color wheels way as well, but let's get that looking good. So you can already see a big difference. It's looking a little bit pink there. Something like that. Test the other 2 as well. So what I'll do is I'll raise the blue slightly up. Some good. And the red, we're just gonna make sure the image isn't too red. So something like that. So basic adjustments to get it good. So you can already see before and after there. Now, here's the method to test if your skin tones are actually accurate, because sometimes your eyes lie. Alright, so we're going to go here and just press crop. Select this little box. And we're just going to crop over the face. Usually I do like the forehead or something. I can zoom in a bit here. So we're just going to move the box over, maybe just the overall face. Now, if you don't know what the vector scope is, it's this wheel right here, and this line is a skin tone indicator. So you want your skin tones to be on this line here. So let's just make this a bit bigger. So you want your skin tones to be on this line. So they're very close now from the adjustments I made. I'll show you actually before, without those effects. So they were a little bit low. They were a little bit too far down. They're not on the line. So I added my effects. It's brought it up a little bit. Now we can bring it up a bit more. So I might just go to color wheels to do some small basic adjustments. So yes, it looks like it just needs a bit more pink to it. Something like that looks pretty good. So you can play around, you can move it around and see. But obviously that's way off. That's too pink. So we want to get him about Let's reset it. Very slightly. Somewhere about there. It looks pretty good. Now let's just turn off the crop. We'll go back to fit. Now the skin tones look very accurate. Also, if you don't have the vector scope on here, the shortcut is Command 7 on Final Cut Pro. So Command 7 to open that. You can go to View and you can select, I like to select the 2, and then you can press here and you can choose vector scope right here. Yeah, you want to crop in and then check that your skin tones are on that line. We'll go before and after. So you can see a pretty big difference there. So they're accurate skin tones. And now you can do your color adjustments. So quick before and after, so you can see how green it was. So the skin tones are looking way more accurate. And they'll be the same with this clip. So what I'm going to do is Command C, copy and paste, and Command Shift V on these clips, which are the same. And we're going to make sure we only select the 2 color curves that we just put on, the color wheels and the color curves. So paste that, and then that will get pasted everything. So we can check it in case the colors are a little bit different, but they're looking pretty good. So what you can do if you need to double check it is you can go into crop, and we're gonna check the skin. So it's looking a little bit pink to my eye, but let's just find out. So yeah, see, the skin tones on this is way off. So she's obviously in a little bit different lighting. Just drag the global towards the green a little bit. Maybe about there. Let's just see how that looks. So we'll turn the crop off. So the skin tones look good, but the picture is very... This is kind of the color curves. I'm gonna... So we're gonna just play around with this a little bit. So let's get it on the lines. So there we go. So we'll turn crop off. Looking way better already. See, so, but sometimes if you've cropped only over the skin, sometimes it can affect the background and do weird stuff. And then you have to change the shadows, usually, to correct for that. So, before and after. So the color's looking way better. So that's they're the methods that I would use to go over skin tones. Now, usually when you do this, you would want to do this at the beginning. So, or you can do it at any time, but turn off any creative color adjustments. So obviously you don't want to affect skin tones after you've added your creative colors, because you've now made a creative decision and then you're undoing it on those specific clips because you want to change the skin tone. What you do, you want to change the skin tone first. So you need to add a conversion LUT just so you can see the skin tones accurately, and then you adjust it, and then you do your creative process of adding some LUTs, you know, adding some colors to it, whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to open up a color curves and bring this down slightly. I use the RGB overlay too for my lighting, just to make sure, because if this is over 100, it's too bright. Lower that down a little bit, bring it down here, and we can bring the midtones up as well, just so we don't lose too much. See, so that's before, after. So even that is looking a little bit dark. I'm just going to raise it up slightly more. So now you can just, I'll continue playing around with all the clips, and I'll look at them in relation to the other clips, and I'll try and even everything out and make it all. If one clip's really crazy bright and then one's not as bright, you know, it just doesn't look right. So yeah, just going to bring these down a little bit, brighten this up a bit more. Now here looks a little bit warm, this one. So this is my normal process. I'll just go through all the clips and I'll add very minor adjustments just to get them looking good. Now this one, I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'll add it into the highlights actually. A little bit more blue, not too much. And when you add blue, it adds pink to it. So usually when I add blue back into the image, I'll have to add green into it as well. So we'll add a little bit of blue. Looks good. And then maybe a little bit of green. But yeah, I won't go too much into depth. But yeah, I just wanted to go over those skin tones and just making sure that you have correct skin tones. So hopefully that helped you just be able to identify the color of skin tones a little bit better. In beginners footage, that's a big thing I see is incorrect skin tones. And it's not in a creative style either, because some movies, it's the creative style, they lean towards a certain color. But no, it's more in a unprofessional, just didn't bother changing them. White balance is wrong on the shoot. A big thing, I always try and get the white balance as accurate as possible on the shoot itself, so then I don't have to do much of this. Now, sometimes if you're going in different lighting, it's going to be inevitable. You're going to have to do some minor adjustments, which you should know how to do for those cases where you have to add some slight adjustments. Yeah, it's important just to know how to do these slight adjustments because it's going to be inevitable. You're going to come across situations where skin tones aren't right, and you got to know how to identify it and how to fix it. I really want to blow up this YouTube page, so I appreciate all the support. The videos are going to keep coming. Let me know what you want to see, what kind of content. I'm going to get back to this edit. So thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Peace.